You should put salt on your tortilla chips at dinner, not your field when you're irrigating. HSI water uses sulfuric acid to neutralize bicarbonates, lower soil pH, and flush salts from the root zone. Cleaner water, healthier soil, less buildup in your lines. Producers who get their irrigation water dialed in see better nutrient uptake, improved infiltration, and reduced fertilizer costs, season after season. Getting your water right is one of the highest return investments on the farm. Our specialists will work with you to design the right system for your needs. No guesswork, just a clear picture of your water chemistry and a plan that fits your operation. So, is your water working for you or against you? Find out at hsiwater.com. Text SALTY, that's SALTY, to 979-232-2528.
Hello, friends, and welcome back again to Conservation Stories, podcast brought to you by the Sand Hill Area Research Association. I'm your host, Tillery Timmons-Sims, and this is Dusty Timmons, who, yes, may be related to me.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. He's my baby brother. Not the babyest baby, but my younger brother.
Yeah.
So I asked Dusty to come because he made a big sacrifice for me recently.
I got to go on a free trip.
He had to go on a free trip to a hunting and fishing lodge
Yep.
so that he could interview all of these amazing people in conservation. Now, I sent him, I was like preoccupied, already made previous commitments. And so, Dusty, not only did he do that though, you went down there fully equipped with equipment you barely knew how to use.
Yes, yeah. Got it 4 days before I left.
Exactly. So we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants, but we're going to introduce his series and over the next few weeks, and we wanted to do one podcast to kind of introduce what he did and the folks kind of that he'll be talking to in that series. So 11 podcasts you recorded over the weekend.
Is that how many it wound up being?
I think that's what you've told me.
Yes, that's what I told you. That's near as I can remember. I know it was a whole bunch one day and quite a few the next day, and then I think I finished off at midnight Sunday morning. So just after midnight. It started at 11:30 was when I started my last one. So,
wow.
But it was really, it was an amazing experience. Meeting the people that were down there and interviewing the people. Did you happen to know that there are great white sharks in the Gulf of Mexico?
No.
Yes, there are great white sharks in the Gulf of Mexico. I interviewed the founder of the Gulf Great White Society and talked about it. There was one that was actually tagged off the coast of like Maine or something like that, and then or maybe it was somewhere on the East Coast.
Okay.
It was tagged.
Yeah, it's a long
And then
list.
like a couple of weeks later, it was it pinged. I think just right off of South Padre Island.
No way.
Like ridiculously close off. I'm not going.
I guess I never thought about it.
Well, we've always been told there's not.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's always been, if somebody said, "Hey, I saw a great white shark in the Gulf of Mexico," that people are like, "No, you didn't. You just thought you did. It was something. It was a big tiger or something like that."
Okay. Yeah.
But it's pretty interesting, and his whole deal is just, hey, he's a well-versed and well-traveled. He does a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Very interesting guy. He's got a really interesting documentary on
really?
the great white shark that you can get off of Netflix and YouTube, I guess, is where it is.
Oh, cool.
But
Okay.
anyway, we'll talk about that in there. And
Okay.
I would tell you what the name of it was, except I have slept since then.
Well, what we'll do is we'll help collect all that information and we'll put it in the show notes. So
Yeah.
like after you visited with somebody, all that stuff will be.
But it's really cool.
Yeah.
That was really interesting. I met with the head of the Wild Sheep Foundation, and we got talking about desert bighorns in Texas and Mexico, and
Wow.
doll sheep and stone sheep and bighorn sheep, and how they're growing, how they're doing, and all that kind of stuff. And we talked. And in that conversation, we talked a lot about invasive species. Texas has. We're back up to 475-ish bighorn sheep and desert bighorn sheep in Texas, and they're
475.
Yeah. We
That
were
doesn't
up to
seem
almost
like
2,000.
that doesn't seem
and then
like
they
a
had
lot.
a disease blow through the herd and just
no.
smacked it down. And it's growing again, but it's
Where are they mostly located?
Big Bend.
Okay.
That area, the Guadalupe Mountains. They're desert, so it's in that desert area out
Okay.
over there, the Chihuahuan Desert.
Chihuahua Desert.
And through there, and they range extends through New Mexico and Arizona, and I believe some maybe in Nevada. There's that's where the desert bighorn is, but it's they're an animal that lives in very limited carrying capacity areas.
Well, that's
and
true.
the biggest problem, one of the biggest problems they've got is Texas has 100,000 audads in the same area.
Oh, yeah. And I get those, sometimes I get those two confused.
Yeah. Well, audad come from the other side of the globe.
And they're, because I was like, they're pretty much not supposed to be here, kind of.
Well, they were introduced back in, I don't know, like the 30s or something like that.
Oh, really?
To increase game hunting opportunities. And have adapted very well. I mean, oddly enough, they get their rates of predation, and I don't want to go too far into the weeds because I cover all this in the deal, but their rates of predation from like mountain lions and bears and stuff like that is actually lower than desert bighorns. And so not only they
Interesting.
they're they're tough animals.
Yeah, well, they've been here several generations, so they probably have had time to adapt.
So
tell us a little bit about Derek York, who is the hero.
He is the hero. Put it all together.
Wow.
Works with Texas Parks and Wildlife as a day job.
Okay.
He drives a boat for the Texas Parks and Wildlife out in the Gulf doing research and things like that.
Now, what a job.
It's a pretty cool job. He's a Tech 3, I believe. And ironically, he is the only one that I really, really, really wanted to interview. He was not in the normal rota of who would interview because he was a podcaster.
Okay, so we'll have to just get him. We'll have to do it. Okay. Yes, we sure will.
Because what he's done is, I mean, the breadth that he's gone to, the energy he's put into facilitating the growth of conservation organizations, and not just conservation, but charitable organizations as well.
It's like an exponential, like what he's done for this weekend.
Yeah.
Is unbelievable because we now, you were able to interview all these people that we may have never even heard of before.
Yeah, I mean,
I hadn't heard of any of them.
I had heard of, I heard of the Wild Sheep Foundation.
Okay,
being a hunter, I was familiar with that, but I did not know who. I did not know Gray Thornton, or his wife either, and his wife is a really cool lady too. I got to interview both of them separately for two separate things.
Oh, nice.
Because she heads up. Well, we'll go into what she heads up later. I could chase rabbits a lot.
That's okay.
But Derek did. He put together a deal where you go in and we set the first morning when you're eating this phenomenal breakfast. He sends everybody a text message. Everybody's got a basically a Excel spreadsheet deal with the times on it and who you're going to interview. And you get 9 to 12, you break for lunch, and you have an incredible meal at lunch, and then you go from 1 to 4. So you do 6 of them on Friday, and then so you'll have, and so you don't have to worry about coordinating. Because I asked him about in the course of just discussing how did this do this, and I'm like, man, I love this. And he said, yeah, with the first couple of times we did this, we kind of just let everybody try to figure it out, and it was just a clown show. I mean, it was just, he said, you had some people that were great and really aggressive and just going and just lining everything out, and other people that were just like didn't want to really, inconvenience anybody. And so he said, he said, doing it this way, he said, removes the guesswork. And he said, you still can, there's time after that you can get, if you want some more, you can do some more and interview other podcasters and stuff like that. And I did interview one of the ones I did was a podcaster, and she's from Vancouver, British Columbia.
Interesting.
She was the Gray Thornton's wife is also originally from Canada, but they live in Montana.
Okay.
She and her husband live in Montana.
Okay.
Now. And but she has a podcast up there. I think her podcast is called Women Hunt.
Women Hunt.
And it is a really cool. It's in conjunction with the Women Hunt program that Grace, and I'm going to have, that is driving me nuts that I cannot remember her name. So
you go right ahead. Go right ahead and look it up.
Well, I figure what her.
Well, I had it was
Renee Thornton. And I'm sorry, Renee,
okay.
if you see this, I apologize, I forgot your name. But just know I'm terrible with names. But Renee found saw a need, and started a program through the Wild Sheep Foundation to get more women into hunting. And what they put together is amazing. And then in the course of it, she was like, this needs to grow a little bit. And then she kind of ran across Dana and kind of just started following her on social media, and then like followed her and was like, hey, would you be interested in doing a podcast for us? And so she's just started as of when I was coming back, she only had nine episodes up, so she's just getting started on it. But really cool lady. I mean, both of them are amazing.
That's great.
What Renee has accomplished is really impressive. But and what she's done with the Wild Sheep Foundation, what they've done. I mean, they basically it's basically a competitive program. You have to like write essays and do stuff to get selected to this thing, and they only take like 12 women a year, and they take them to this ranch, a really nice place in the hill country during deer season.
Okay.
And they go down there and they go in one day, and they have ex-military and ex-special forces, snipers, stuff like that, teaching them how to shoot.
Holy cow.
And so they spend a day learning how to shoot. And then getting familiarizing themselves with fire. Because some of these people have never touched a gun.
Right.
And so they go over safety. They teach them the basics of it, how to pull, how to make it go bang. And then the next day they dial it in, find their comfortable range. And that afternoon, that evening, they're sitting on a stand. And then they'll take them out, and then they shoot. They try to shoot the management deer
right.
on the ranch there.
Right.
Shoot that. Anybody that shoots it, then they all cut. They bring it all back in, and teach them how to completely field dress it, skin it, cape it, quarter it, break it down into all the way from there into a meal. They take it all the way from. They literally take these women and they go from. And I've been hunting for 40 years. Would take it in a heartbeat. I'd pay the bill to take this class because amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done all this stuff, but just because all the stuff that whatever your grandpa told you may not be the actually easiest way to do things.
Right.
And they go in, and I mean, it's amazing what they do and what they put together, the program they put together.
Wow.
And then I got to. So anyway, you go through and you do the interviews. That's a nice little rabbit trail we chased there.
Yeah.
So you go through and you do the interviews, and then you go out, and from 4 to 6, you pretty much got free time. But you can go out and you can shoot 5 stand, which is clay pigeons, where you sit there and you say pull, and the guy pushes a button and clay pigeons fly. It's the best way to shoot clay pigeons. I mean, it's like playing golf without actually having to swing. It's great. And so you can do that, or you can go on one of their 5 ponds that they've got there that are stocked with bass and go fishing. And I, bizarrely enough, only made like 30 casts. And on 29 of them, I was dragging the weeds, and I was hung up in the weeds. And on the 30th one, I had caught a fish. So, I mean, it was a lot of fun. We had we had one of the podcasters there. It's from Hemphill, Texas, and he is a fly fishing guide on Toledo Bend. But he also makes handcrafted, bespoke fly rods that are amazing. I mean, incredible.
Wow.
He the rod blanks. He helped design all the rod blanks. And,
wow.
I mean, it's incredible. And the odd thing about it is, for a fly rod, they're inexpensive, and for a custom fly rod, they're downright cheap.
Wow.
I mean, they're still for my wallet, but they're still high.
Yeah.
But for what they look like and how beautiful they are, I mean, he'll match it. He said he was at a show one time and had a little Asian lady, and she was like from I think she was from Japan.
Okay.
And he's like, she's like, of course he's a 70-ish year old fella, and and as hillbilly, I mean, I'm a hillbilly, and he and I were just like this, man. And he's like, she comes, your rod's too big, and he's like, what? And he's like, and of course he's got a real thick accent. He's like, I couldn't understand her accent for nothing. You're like, I don't know how that works. You got 2 really big accents. But anyway,
that's hilarious.
The handles were too big for her hand. She's a little bitty tiny. So she was like 4 foot something.
Sure.
And so he's like, well, let me measure your hand. So he said, I measured her hand. And then when I got back to my shop, on this really nice wood. Yeah. He said, I turned 3 different handles for her with these exotic woods. And I sent them to her, and she picked the one that she wanted, sent them back, and I built her a rod around it that perfectly fits her hand. And she said,
That's
you know,
neat.
it's really cool. I mean,
That's something I've always wanted to try is fly fishing.
It's wicked fun.
You know, I have a phobia about fishing, and that is being next to anyone who is like slinging around a hook. I am like so paranoid about getting hooked by one of those hooks.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I was fly fishing, and I have to be like, stay a long ways away from me.
Well, you know what's funny is I actually wanted out with. I mean, everybody there was like I can kind of cast a fly rod. I'm one of the people that I'm out there, and if you don't know what you're looking at, I know what I'm doing. But if you have a clue of what's going on, you're like, that guy.
That's kind of how I'm on this podcast.
You know,
I sound knowledgeable for the first 5 minutes.
But I was not like I was like, I want to watch you cast. And he's like, okay, well, just stand right here. And I was literally standing in his left hip pocket, and he was like, okay, you just do it this way. Like, yes, it is.
See, I think
and
my fear comes from fishing as a child with 2 younger brothers.
Hey, I never remember fishing with you.
Oh, yeah. Down at Lake LBJ.
I remember Lake LBJ.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is because the first time I got hooked, I never was like, I'm no.
I know I was fishing with a guy one time that got hooked by a treble hook. But, well, the good thing about fly fishing is the hooks are typically, well, if you're trout fishing with a fly rod, the hooks are typically really, really small, and they're mostly barbless, so they come out easy.
Oh, nice.
It makes life easy.
Yeah.
So it's not any more painful than having your ear pierced.
Right. Sure. Okay.
I've
So,
had them both. I mean,
okay.
Remember that Easter I had my ear
I
pierced?
do. I remember. That was pretty funny. Yes, I know.
The links I'll go to get a laugh out.
I know, exactly. So, so it was Friday, Saturday, and then y'all left on Sunday.
Left on Sunday, yeah.
Wow.
And so we did Friday, and then after you get the 2 hours off, they have what's called movie night. Well, not movie night. What do you call it when you have a film festival?
Film festival.
And they had all the different podcasts that put together had put together videos. National Wild Sheep Foundation had one they'd put together.
Oh, how cool is that? Okay.
The Great White Society,
Yes.
the Gulf Great White Society had one they put together on the Gulf. That one. There was another one that was put together by another guy that had a. He worked with what is now the CCA, which used to be the Gulf Coast Conservation Association, not just the Coastal Conservation Association, something like that. Anyway, he started working with them in the 70s when they were using gill nets on redfish in the Gulf, in the bays, and trying to get that stopped. And now he's working to protect oyster beds.
Oh, yes,
and they
that's
had
so
one.
important.
They had one that he put together called the tipping point, I think is what it's called, on the oyster beds in Texas, and that is a grave situation. I mean, it is a bad deal to lose them. Horrifically bad deal.
Yes.
You know, and it's another one of those things that's just been kind of a mess.
Yeah, when I was in Tull, we went to a place where they're doing that, and on Long Island, where they're using them to filter.
Yes.
You know, and so they were like, it was a nursery.
Yeah.
An oyster nursery.
Well, one of the things that they're doing with that they got them to do is the what are they called? COLs, I think is what they're called. Anyway, you can go out and you can basically rent a part of the bay, and you can make an artificial.
I've heard of this. Yes, that's really cool.
There's now 2,000 acres of that, and it supplies 30%.
It's kind of like how we here rent a highway and clean up the beer cans.
Kinda.
Yeah, but there it's like you can rent and you get to like
grow
oysters
and sell oysters.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you look at the oyster boats out there, I mean, they show, and you see the satellite, you see the images that were taken. I don't know if they're aerial photos of some sort. They're either satellite images, like on a Google image, and you see what they're doing to the oyster reefs. And you know, those things are not something that. It's not like running a combine through a wheat field and then going back to planting wheat and combine the wheat again. When they do that, they can destroy the substrate that the oyster's attached to.
Oh,
and so that reef can be gone. And they cut down something like 96% or so of soil erosion behind those reefs. Like you compare where an oyster reef is behind it to what's not there, and the erosion levels are I mean,
So that is what's so crazy to me about as I learned about conservation is the ripple effects
Yeah.
are insane.
Then some things have bigger butterfly effects than others, but to me, this one has one of the biggest ripple effects I've seen in anything
Wow.
that we do.
Wow.
I mean, it's you can't. I mean, even with the destruction of the tallgrass prairies and how much that's shrinking in, and how much you've got the what they call it, the green glacier, with trees growing in and encroaching in the prairies, and then you got the plows busting it out. I mean, even with that, it's less dramatic than what the oysters do to the
Right.
bay.
And people don't know, I mean, the tall grass prairies are the most endangered ecosystem in the world.
Yeah, and it's ironic.
It's like Oklahoma.
I mean, it's
not far from us.
right. Yeah, and it's and that's that's a combination of things that's endangering it. It's not just farmers plowing it out. I mean, it's people saying,
Right.
hey, it's Arbor Day. Let's plant 1,000 trees today.
Right.
You know don't plant 1,000 trees in western Kansas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not what it's designed for. It's not what it's there for. I mean, it's great, in a shelter belt or something like that. But you plant, you got a lot of juniper and
Right, especially things that aren't
Yeah,
invasive.
I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Wow.
it's kind of funny. Bradford pears are no big deal out here because they don't, we don't get enough rain for them to spread like they do. But in the
people
southeast,
hate.
oh
oh
God.
my goodness, people hate them so much, and I'm like, they're the only thing that even looks pretty around here in the spring and fall.
It's either that or Chinese.
I know.
Chinese.
I don't know the what are those called? Japanese redbud or something? I don't know.
No, I'm
Here we
thinking
go.
about the Chinese elm. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, elm trees.
Oh, my God.
Yes, and those do spread too. But but I don't think people hate elm trees as much as they hate Bradford pears.
Yeah, no,
because they say they smell bad.
Well,
I don't know. The ones across
out
the
here-
street from me, I've never smelled them, but I'm like,
I mean, out here it's not a big deal because they don't. They're an invasive. They're an introduced species out here.
right.
And so they're not native to here.
Right.
But there are areas in the southeast where they plant them where they're actually invasive.
Yeah.
And they actually
Right.
grow and they actually spread.
Right.
Whereas here here you're lucky
Yeah.
to keep the one in your yard alive for 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Which is,
just-
I think, one of the reasons why people don't like them is they're like the branches are weak and they will,
Yeah.
Anyway, but I will tell you, like sometimes I wonder about like who gives advice about things because I know that I've seen like the most beautiful, enormous live oaks cut down when pears were kept.
Yes.
We're going to keep these pears, but we're going to cut down.
down
And
this.
I was like, oh my goodness.
that's
Who
probably
gave, but I mean, it's not, it's people they're getting advice
Yeah.
from people. And I'm like,
Take it down because it might get oak wilt. No,
no.
Let it get oak wilt
Right.
and before you take it down. But,
Right.
but I
Anyway.
mean, there's that could go on.
it'll
for-
get in your plumbing. I'm like, what do people do where they live where they have trees?
Yeah.
They also have plumbing. Somehow they are able to, anyway. So we're totally off the topic. But
Yeah,
anyway.
just a little bit.
Yes.
But I mean, we're nothing if not random.
Exactly. So true.
But,
so true.
I mean, we went, but and so then you come back in. I mean, you've got this another freaking. I mean, it was not a hardship because I had another incredible meal, and then that, and then you go and you get up the next morning and you roll through it and do it all again, and just incredible. I mean, I spoke with a lady, Camille Null is her name, and she's from Port O'Connor, and she works with the I think it's Heroes on the Water program, where she takes they take this, vets and first responders, get them in kayaks and let them get them back into fishing.
Yeah.
And she told a story that I won't repeat here. You'll just have to listen, find the podcast when
That's
it comes
right.
out and listen
That's
to
right.
it. But I mean, I'm just sitting there, it's like I'm gonna have to pause this thing because I'm not sure anybody can hear me because I'm crying. It's like,
Aw.
but I mean, it's really
Yeah.
her husband is a retired Houston homicide detective. And they got out and moved to Port O'Connor, and now he's a fishing guide. And he was supposed to be there, but he got sick, and so I didn't get to interview him too. But she was incredible, and that the what she does in
Wow.
getting people that have with a lot of them have disabilities. She said, we can basically, if you're breathing, we can handle it.
Wow.
Pretty much it's almost to that level.
Yeah.
Not quite because it's a kayak,
Right.
but they're.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's amazing what they can do to get people back into it.
That's awesome.
Interviewed, and I'll have to look up which.
Pull up your notes, because
Pull up my
I
notes.
don't know how you can remember 11 people's name. I mean, I can't remember. Somebody will say, "Who did you interview last week?" And I'm like, "Let me look."
Yeah.
It's just you can only hold so much in your mind, is what our grandmother used to say. We got to take something out of our brains before we put anything else in there.
Yeah. Let's see.
And you might have to put your glasses on. I see you straining.
Yeah.
You want me to hold the phone for you?
You might need to. I'm trying to. One that I did not get to interview was Chad Walagura, and he was, and I hate that, but people just need to find the links to some of the people that I went to.
I think a nice thing to do would be to maybe in the show notes to share even the other podcasts that
because somebody interviewed him. He is an incredible story. He broke his neck diving into a pool when he was a teenager. I think, maybe he may have been in college. I didn't get to interview him. I just got to kind of ancillarily meet him. And he still has, he duck hunts, he fishes, he gets out. He's got labs he trains and works with. He had 2 of them with him down here, and he is in a wheelchair and just, gets around and he shot clay pigeons with it. I mean, 5-stand with us, incredible guy. And so, that's one of the ones that I hate I missed.
Because it would be fun to have, like, maybe even on the website somewhere, like, we could suggest like different podcasts for people to listen to that
and then I'm trying to. I think I went
your other podcasters that were there, because Derek has his own podcast.
Derek does have his own podcast. Derek's podcast is.
Is it called Hunt Fish? Sorry.
Impact Outdoors.
Impact Outdoors. That's right. Impact Outdoors.
He is the lead fish and wildlife technician with the Texas Parks and Wildlife.
Okay.
And so he's as high up. He told me I'm a Tech 3. That's as high as I can go. He said I don't have an advanced degree, so I'm trying to find the fella that takes kids fishing. That's what he does. Well, this is riveting. This is riveting podcast right here.
Let's stop and let him find that. How about that?
Also, we can put all the
We're back.
show notes, so.
Yeah. I'll need to get all of that stuff for you. Yeah.
I just need to send you this thing that he sent me.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, I'll share that with me, and then I'll make you a list, so you don't have to go through all of them.
So when you were talking about the getting hooked, it reminded me of Timmons' reunion at Possum Kingdom, where one of the other cousins, we saw him hook his own dad, and it was like, that brought a new light to the family reunion.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, at least they didn't bring a line.
Yeah, it was like stuck right here.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying right there.
And I was like,
Okay.
oh, that's the family.
I found it.
Yeah. I do. I've tried to get him on my podcast like multiple times. I'm going to have to go and knock on his. My nephew even knows him. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who?
He's a plant prof on Instagram.
He's a horticulturist, PhD.
Oh, he's got a great following, great podcast. He's so fun, social media guy.
He also, I think it was him, posted a thing.
Oh, he hates Bradford pears.
Yes.
That's how I found out people hated Bradford pears.
Is he not the one that talks about it being Bradford pear pruning season?
He's got
and
this
the
huge.
proper way to prune it is to
Yeah,
put
him.
yourself parallel to the ground. Cut it.
Yes. Yeah.
How to trim a Bradford pear, 1 inch from the ground, horizontal cut.
Yes, that's exactly right. Exactly right. Okay. All right.
Okay.
And we're back.
We're back. Now that I had to sort through my notes and see what but Chuck Naylor.
Chuck Naylor.
Okay, let me make sure I get it right. Michael. I wasn't even close.
You were not
I
even
was not
close.
even close. Chuck, not
Well,
even close.
the problem was you looked at your notes and we talked for a second.
We talked for a second, and then
got
it went away.
distracted. Yes, there
Michael
you go.
Shearer.
Michael Shearer.
And he
Yeah, that is not
takes,
mentioned like Chuck Naylor.
not much.
Same.
Takes a lot. He takes. Well, he basically takes people fishing. He has a tank that he'll set up and
What a
they
great
can
life.
do teach them how to fish and stuff like that. But he works with families. You know, most people are like, take a kid fishing. But he's like, no, I want to take the family fishing. I want to get the family into it.
Yes.
So the family
will
does
go
it together. Yeah. And
Oh, what a great idea.
It's incredible. I mean, the breadth of people that were there is mind-numbing, and what they cover, you know, and it was amazing that, you know, you'd go in and you'd get talking to them about something, and they're like, well, this is really what I want to talk about on the thing.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting too, but what about that?
Yes.
And so,
yes.
you know, so I was
Yes.
like going, okay, I'm sitting here, these need to probably be like 30, 45 minutes long. And the only reason that I shut them off at like around an hour is because that was the time slot and they had somebody else to go do.
Yes, yeah,
And so,
yes.
and
Well, I
that's
will tell you, I mean, that happens so often here. In fact, even today, I'm like, everybody I've had in front of you, I'm like, we need to do a podcast on that next and that.
Yeah. And it's just amazing that not just in environmental conservation or the conservation of wildlife and that kind of stuff, but in how they've working with other peoples, with charities, and conserving the human spirit, for lack of a better term. You know, just getting people out involved in doing other things, and you know, it's not just, you know, the environment that they're taking care of. It's also the community.
That's
you
right.
know, it's instilling. You know, they're doing things to instill into the community, and it's to grow certain segments of the community.
Exactly. Well, you know, and that's what I think I've told you this before, but like we look at like all of these ecosystems are overlapping. They're all connected, and you impact one, you impact another, and then looking at each of those ecosystems, our economics and our health and our environment through people, planet, and profit. You know that those things. I think it's so true that which I think is the point for the butterfly effect. It's like you just don't realize the positive impacts, and I think especially here because there's not so much stuff to do outside as in other places. You have to be a little more creative here.
You do, and I mean a lot of that has to do with just the limited public space we have.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Don't
you
even.
know,
Yes. Exactly. We have limited public space. In case you had not known this, in Lubbock, we have very limited public space. We need more green spaces.
We do. I mean, it's, you know, you look at the time frame and where Lubbock grew and when it grew, and it fell outside the niche. All of Lubbock's growth has always fallen outside that niche. You know, you look at other towns, and you're like, okay, when did you grow? Well, why do you have all these parks? Oh, well, you were rapidly growing in a time when
People
that was the thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and then, you know, we pretty much just kind of came out of one just as Lubbock started building again. And so what do we have? We have a bunch of, you know, row track houses that are just, you know, there's not a park.
I am so floored at how few, there's like almost nothing in Southwest Lubbock.
Yeah. It's pretty mind-numbing.
It really is. Unless you're in a really nice neighborhood, there's not a park accessible to you in your neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, one of the things I found when I got Cooper, my dog, and I was looking for places to walk a bird dog so that on a Saturday, so I didn't have to go to Brownfield, is that there are actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know.
I'm not saying it's good.
On that side of town.
In town in general.
No, there's, I mean, like,
listen, I'm telling you right now, the best place to walk your dog is at a place at an undisclosed location. Because they may have a Lubbock resident here. I don't want anybody else taking the dog spot.
That's hilarious.
But Lubbock does have they have some pretty good dog parks now.
Yes, we do.
Yes. So that's helped a little bit. Kudos to
yes,
whoever's
exactly.
doing that work.
Yep.
You know, but a lot of Lubbock's, our infrastructure budget has gone to building sports fields. I mean, we got an amazing sports facility down there.
Right, because that's what people generally do.
I mean, you look at it, and that was when the town was growing, when it was building, that was the biggest demand that you had.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I can understand it. I mean, there's, you know, as much grief as I, on the side, give, you know, the members of the city council of doing things for their own betterment.
Yeah.
You know, some of it, they actually listened to what was the demand at the time.
Right. Yep.
And it's just that the underlying demand of and setup of how a city should be planned is different here than it is.
Oh
in,
my
say,
gosh,
like Abilene
it is really interesting. And my friend Nick Bergfield is like a genius on that, and I wish more people would listen to him. And
Yeah.
shout out to Nick Bergfield. But that doesn't have anything to do about this. But however,
But going back in
Yes.
to getting people outdoors and
yes,
what they've done.
yes. And if you haven't gone out to the lake system,
Yes.
like you should go out to the Canyon Lake system.
Yeah.
If you haven't been out there lately, it is a great place to go.
is,
It is
yeah.
a great place. And also the Arboretum, where the Arboretum is, that's
Lubbock
another
Lake-
fun
Lubbock
place
Lake
to
Land-
go.
Lubbock Lake
Lubbock
Landmark.
Lake Landmark, another place to
Amazing.
go. So, I mean, there are places. It's
You
just
just
they're
have to
not.
be. You just have to be a little bit more creative.
You're just
here.
not. They're just not right in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's some places they're right. But I mean, we're also in a semi-arid desert.
We are. It's
we're
gonna look
also
different.
in a, it's
Yeah.
the climate is different. And it just
Yeah.
is. And
Yeah.
so there's a lot of things that go into how things are done. But this is the thing I like about the people I talk to is that they recognize a need and they pursue the need.
Yes,
You know,
I love that.
I
And
reckon-
and they
I
do
love-
something about it. It's
I
like
love
action.
people that do that and allow me to sit on my fat hind parts. But that
The
is
most
terrible.
annoying thing
That
to
is
me
terrible.
is like to have like a plan and it never be implemented. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
let's do stuff. Let's do stuff. I want to do
That-
stuff.
That annoys me too. That's
Yes.
why I don't plan.
Oh my gosh.
Some people
Yes.
call it lazy. I call it strategic thinking.
Okay. Well, whatever it is, I'm glad that you were strategically available to go
But
to
I
this
mean,
thing.
it was. I mean, those interviews, and sadly, I did them. So
they'll be great.
I have a voice for radio. I mean, what is it? I have a
face
face
for
for radio and a voice for silent films. So.
Well,
that's just the way it
I'm
is.
sure you did a
But-
good job, or I wouldn't have sent you if I didn't think you would know how
but
to ask the
people-
questions.
But the people were so interesting. It didn't matter.
No, yeah.
Who did it?
I know. Podcasting is the best. To me, like, it's like the best thing ever because you just get the best of so many people.
It's incredible.
So
I mean,
awesome. What
the
a
very
honor.
last podcast interview I did was with Dana Dykema, and she is the one that was from Vancouver, British Columbia.
Oh, okay.
Really, really interesting young lady, and I can call her a young lady because I'm substantially older than her.
So, and she's the one that they tasked to start the new podcast.
Yes, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's called hers is called Ignite Podcast,
Ignite.
and really cool lady.
Okay.
And what she
Well,
did.
we'll share not just the information for the people that on the
There's some
on the show
interesting
notes,
podcasts.
but we'll also let people know who those other podcasters that were there
that was
and how beneficial.
probably one of the most
Yeah.
interesting things about the thing was talking to the other podcasters,
Yeah.
the people that had done that, and they would be like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I'm filling in for the professional that does it."
There's not.
I'm like-
the professionals are behind the camera in this on this podcast thing.
No, that's
It's
true.
not nobody in front of the camera.
That's true. But I mean, it was just talking to them and hearing their stories and what
Yes.
they, because invariably, almost all of them got their start because they were interested.
Yeah, that's how I'm like. There's just so many things I'm interested about. I'm surely there's other people out there that want to know these same things.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard somebody say, why did you start a podcast? Well, I was interested in learning some stuff, and I figured this is the way people would talk to me. So,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
and so you're like, okay, that
That's
makes
great.
sense. But I mean, they did a lot of different. I mean, they come from all different walks of life. All different socioeconomic stratas in there.
Yeah.
Dana has got. She's got 3 teenagers. She's like, her story. She's like, I got married at 19, had my first kid at I think 21. Her oldest son is getting ready to go and play baseball at a JUCO in Kansas. And
fun.
she's got a lot on her
Yeah.
plate, just like
Yeah.
everybody else. She's got a lot
Yeah.
on her plate and stuff, and she
Yeah.
has raised is raising kids and dealing with kids.
amazing.
And, I was like, well, how did your kids? And she's like, well, I did all this, jump through all the hoops to get, and because she was what we call an adult onset hunter.
Okay.
So she did.
Okay.
She was not raised hunting.
Hunting.
In any
Yeah.
really in any stretch of the imagination, and just decided one day she was very focused on where her food came from, and she basically started off as basically she was a a go-between between the growers and
yes,
the
yes,
consumer.
yes, right. Yeah, trying
And
to
so she would box it up and then meet people
Yeah.
and sell it that way.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm interested in this, but it ends at protein.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I want to get started. And when you're in Canada, it is not the easy. You don't just walk into Walmart and pick up a hunting license.
No,
Which
yeah,
I'm not
it's
sure
not-
Walmart
yeah.
sells hunting license anymore. But now you have
Right.
you can do it on. You can't
Right.
just pick up your phone and
No, yeah, it's a
and
big deal. Yeah, you don't just carry
and
your
so
gun with you.
Right.
Yeah.
She had to go through all the training, all the licensing to be able to buy a firearm.
Right.
And then, then
Right.
she went hunting and got to hunt.
That's
and stuff.
really
I mean,
cool.
it's really cool. But I mean, every person that I interviewed, every person that was there, with the exclusion of myself, was really, really interesting. I mean,
My gosh.
I'm like, hey, I'm just here for, to make everybody else look good. But I mean, they're
Yeah,
really
that's right.
interesting people. I mean,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do it again next year.
I know. Next year I'm going with you.
There you go. As long as it's not during Pheasant Fest.
As long as
Then
it's
you
not
have to
during
go by
Pheasant Fest. Okay. So, well, thanks for making the sacrifice for us. We really appreciate it.
It was a hard one, let me tell you.
And so Dusty and I and my brother Andy, our brother Andy, are also every Friday on KRFE. We're doing an hour and 20-ish minutes of conversation and things that are happening on the Western Dry Side. It's the Dry Side Dispatch. So the Dry Side Dispatch Fridays, KRFE, but we're also live streaming to YouTube, so it'll be coming up on the Sarah channel pretty quickly, and people will be able to see it there as well. And so I'm sure these conversations will come up
Yeah. Well, I mean,
in the future.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to everybody get to listen to the people. I mean, they're wickedly interesting people.
That's great.
I mean,
That's
it's
great.
Really
Well, thank you. And thanks for listening, folks. And be watching out for the upcoming episodes that we will release that Dusty has so graciously given his time to record.
Well, my pleasure.
See you next time.